All right, so welcome back, everyone. Happy Tuesday. This, of course, is Mindful Yoga. My name is Jen, and I'm going to lead you through your 60-minute practice today. I hope everyone is enjoying the nice warm weather. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, you can type into the chat and we'll address those ASAP. So if you need to grab anything, please do. We will likely be using straps today. So if you have even a belt or a rope, whatever is available to you, I encourage you to grab that. Music, water, and anything to help get you comfortable for today's practice. And just as a review, when we're talking about our mindfulness, we're talking about intentionally paying attention on purpose, non-judgmentally in the present moment. And every week we're going to break that down just a little bit more. And today our attitude of mindfulness is going to be non-judgment. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And I encourage you to set an intention for the practice today. So that might be the mindfulness attitude that we're going to talk about. That might be just to relax or to stretch, whatever that intention is. I'll just ask you to set that and be aware of that now. Our meditation practice today, we're going to try a new one, some Yoga Nidra, and so we'll be reminded of that intention at that point as well. So to begin, as we always do, I'll ask you to take a comfortable position for our 3-minute breathing space. So you can either be seated, if you'd like to take Shavasana, and take any measures of comfort, pillow under the knees or under the neck, anything like that. Please do, and we'll prepare for our breathing space today. So with this brief meditation now, the first thing we do, because it is brief and we want to come into the moment quite quickly, we want to take that very definite posture. So whether we're sitting or laying down, we're trying as best we can to feel relaxed, dignified. Our back is erect but not stiff. And we're really letting our bodies express a sense of being both present and awake. And closing your eyes, if that is comfortable for you, the first step is becoming aware, really aware of what is going on with you right now. So we become aware of what might be going through our mind and any thoughts that might be around. We're just noting these thoughts as mental events, and so we note them, and maybe we note any feelings that might be around at the moment. And in particular, we might choose to turn towards any sense of discomfort in this moment. So rather than trying to push them away or shut them out, we just acknowledge them. Perhaps saying to ourselves, here you are. And that is how it is right now. And of course, similarly with any sensation in the body. Maybe we notice sensations of tension, holding, whatever may be, we just bring awareness to them, simply noting them. Here you are, and that is how it is right now. And so we have a sense of what is going on right now, and we've stepped out of that automatic pilot. The second step is to collect our awareness by focusing on a single object, the movements of our breath. So we really gather ourselves, focusing our attention on the movements of the abdomen, the rise and fall of the breath, spending just a minute or so noticing the movement of our abdominal wall, moment by moment, breath by breath, as best we can. So we know when the breath is moving in and when the breath is moving out. Binding our awareness to the pattern of movement, gathering yourself, and really using the breath as an anchor to really be present. And for our third and final step of this brief practice, having gathered ourselves to some extent, we're going to allow our awareness to expand. So as well as being aware of the breath, we're going to include a sense of the body as a whole. And so we get this more spacious awareness. A sense of the body as a whole, including any tightness or sensation relating to holding in the back, shoulders, the neck, the face. Following the breath as if the whole body is breathing, and holding it all in a slightly softer and more spacious awareness. And as you lay your seat in this position for meditation, we'll talk a little bit about non-judgment. Too often we let our thinking and beliefs about what we know prevent us from seeing things as they really are. We fill our minds with preconceived notions, biases, opinions, judgments. And so when our minds are full like this, we can no longer let any new wisdom or understanding emerge. That's a quote from a mindfulness instructor, Melly O'Brien. And so non-judgment as a foundational attitude of mindfulness, it deals with our tendency to judge all aspects of our experience. And non-judgmental attitudes help us to see how detrimental it can be when we get caught up in our ideas, opinions, likes and dislikes, and our brains are very good at doing this. So suspending judgment allows us to be almost an impartial witness to our experiences. It helps us to stay curious, as we talked about a couple classes ago, curious about what's happening to us versus closing ourselves off. And it also helps with that non-striving we discussed last week, because when we're not in that judgmental place, we're not giving ourselves the fuel to prove something or change our experience. So it's important to recognize judging mind in mindfulness. So if in this practice you think, oh, I can't do this right, or maybe even this is boring, any of those sorts of judgments, recognize this as your mind judging. You don't have to stop, but just try to notice. And then maybe try to notice any feeling or sensation that may have arisen from that judging mind. And when we can just observe without wanting any difference in our experience, we take a step towards alleviating hardship. So if you choose today in our practice, see if you can recognize judgment. And notice maybe the difference when we do try to practice with this attitude of non-judgmentalness. And with that being said, we will now come into our movement practice. So if you're not already laying in Shavasana, I'll ask you to do so. And we'll come into our poses for the class. So take a moment and just get comfy on your mat if you're not already so. Well, once again, just connect with the breath, breathing deep into the belly, maybe long on the exhale. And again, throughout this practice, we try to notice those judgments, good or bad. And we also note how this does help us with that curious mindset, as we've talked about, and that non-striving, and just accepting our bodies and experience just the way it is in this moment. So let's bring some movement. Maybe we'll do some circles in the wrists, the ankles. Maybe noticing if there's any of those crunchy bits. Again, just being curious. We'll bring our knees in. Maybe we choose to take movement. That seems to be my go-to. I notice as soon as the knees come in, they start rocking. And just start to open up the hips a bit. And maybe if we choose to be still, again, we notice if there's any maybe tension anywhere, or maybe we're feeling particularly relaxed today. Let's take a breath in, and then on the exhale, we're going to extend the left leg down. We can either plant the foot or have the leg all the way down, whatever's comfortable. And we'll leave that right leg in, hugging the shin. We'll try to get a stretch, never to the point of pain. We don't want to push ourselves so that's our body's telling us, no, I'm not part of that non-striving. But there could be some discomfort, and mindfulness tells us not to avoid discomfort, but more heads towards it. And ironically, this tends to alleviate it. So if we have chosen to take movement, we can do so. And at this point, I'll ask you to grab your straps. So I'll give you a moment to grab the strap and have that available. And we're going to hook the foot through and then send the leg long and high. And so we might take a mini bend in the knee, keeping the foot flexed. We're going to try and get a nice long stretch in the leg. Again, if we consider our non-striving, we're not trying to be the most flexible yogi. And I mean, there's no video anyway, so nothing to prove in this moment. But just notice what our body is telling us as we're taking this position. We might choose maybe on the in-breath to get maybe a little straighter if that's accessible to us. And maybe on the exhale, we might take a little bit of a deeper stretch. Again, listen to the body. Maybe notice any changes in subtle sensation with a little bit of a deeper stretch, wherever you might notice it. Maybe in the lower leg, the seat, the back. And we'll take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to send the leg out to the right, holding our strap nice and strong, keeping the foot flexed. Again, if we need a bit of a bend in the knee, that's totally fine. Trying to get into the hip. At any point we need to release this pose, please feel free to do so. We also want to make sure and check in with our shoulders, that they're both planted on the ground. I often have to check in that they're not living up by my ears. Our left hand can be out to the side, or we can also have it on the left hip, just to make sure that it's planted. We don't want that to lift. And breathe. And then maybe we get a little deeper on the exhale, if that's accessible. Noticing any shift. Maybe naming sort of sensation that you experience. And on an inhale, let's bring that leg up to the top. Pause for a moment. Shift our strap into the other hand. And notice any changes, any feeling. And exhale, let's bring it to the opposite side. And just as far as you notice, there's a stretch. Also honoring our body and where we're at this moment. Some days we might go deeper, some days we might barely move at all, and both is perfectly fine. It's part of that non-judgmental attitude we allow ourselves whatever our body is experiencing today. And keep the foot flexed, shoulders planted, exploring sensation. Maybe there's tingling, maybe there's heat, coolness. Whatever we're experiencing. You might go a bit deeper on the exhale. You might getting in to those deeper like muscles. And when we're ready, again, we'll inhale the leg back up. Pause for a moment. Then we're going to unhook the strap. And if our left foot isn't already planted, we're going to do so. And then cross the right ankle over the left thigh for that nice figure 4 for supine pigeon. And we might choose to stay here today, or you can also lift that left foot, get a little bit deeper, and then thread the arms through, holding the back of the thigh. Nice deep belly breaths. And again, if we choose today, the last piece of this is we might send that left foot to the sky or the ceiling tiles, whichever we're looking at right now. So again, we're not judging wherever experiences today is good as bad, or if we are, we're just noticing as judgment. And with any mindful practice, if we notice that our thoughts are running away with plans, worries, whatever might be, just as with judgment, we just note, okay, thoughts are around. And we bring it back to the intention of the practice. Maybe we get a little bit deeper. Noticing any subtle shift that might happen in our experience. And then when we're ready, we will drop that left foot, but keep the legs crossed. We might shift the weight into that left foot and just shimmy our hips over to the right a little bit. And we're going to drop that right foot down to the ground for a twist. And now if this isn't comfortable for you, please feel free to shift any sort of movement that might be needed. We can also stack the knees or even put a block between the knees, whatever is comfortable for yourself. But we're really trying to get into the lower spine in our twists. So also meaning trying to keep our shoulders onto the ground. Our arms can be just out to the side, whatever is comfortable for yourself. Breathing deep into that twist. For this one, our gaze can be up, or we could also gently turn our gaze to the right. Whatever position you choose, just be intentional about it. You know why you chose to take that particular head position. Never. Maybe we check in different parts of the body here. Maybe we are checking with the hands, the shoulders, abdomen. Just being really curious and open. And deep belly breath in and out. And let's unwind our twist, shimmy our hips back to center, and bring our knees in to rock it out. And try and take that moment of stillness. Maybe note any differences in how you're feeling from the beginning, from your right side, your left side. And let's hug in that left shin knee, plant the right foot or extend it long, whichever you prefer, and to the other side. Getting a little bit deeper. And once again, we'll grab our straps. Try not to hit our face with them. And then place it on the ball foot and extend it up. And again, if you need to take a mini bend in the knee, that's perfectly fine. Keep the foot flexed. Try to get deep into the head. And noticing again, maybe there's a difference in the left side. Maybe you find there's a little more flexibility, or maybe less. Not labeling it as good or bad, just noticing. You know, for myself, I've been doing a little bit more hiking, so I'm definitely feeling a little more tight these days. Part of the benefit of mindfulness is really getting to know our bodies. And the more we listen, the more we get to hear what our body is telling us. So let's take a deep inhale through the belly. And then on the exhale, just as we did with the other side, we'll send the leg out to the left. We're noticing any changes in what we feel as we made that movement. Any spots that might be, a little crunchy, or maybe a very smooth type of feeling. Try to stay strong in the leg and foot flexed. We're not trying to strive for a certain amount of flexibility. Just trying to note our experience. Again, it can be helpful to keep that right hand on the right hip just to make sure it's planted. Notice the contact of the shoulders and the seat on the mat. And then maybe we get a little bit deeper if we choose. Asking ourselves about the subtle sensation changes as we do this. Get deep into the belly. Nice long exhale, connecting with the breath. Let's inhale that leg back up. Pause for the moment. Shift our strap to the opposite hand. Breathe in deep, and then on the exhale, send the leg to the other side. Again, exploring the sensation. often talked about maybe there's a color that we can use to describe what we're feeling, shape, texture, sort of those creative means. Again, helps us to understand and learn about our experience just a little bit more. Now I might note that maybe we do like stretching one side more than the other. It's very tough to get out of that judging mind, and that's perfectly fine. Just noting when we're having those thoughts. Some strong in the leg. Not letting just hang in space, or keeping it supported. And if you're ready, let's take a breath in and we'll bring that leg back up. Pause for the moment. Notice change. We'll unhook our strap. And if that right foot isn't planted, we'll do so and then cross the left ankle over the left thigh. Nope, I mixed that up, the right thigh, apologies. And maybe we stay here today, or maybe we rise up that leg and thread our arms through, holding the back of the thigh. And of course, if we choose, we can also extend that foot up, keeping it flexed. And asking ourselves about our experience. And those nice deep inhales all the way down deep into the abdomen. And if this was an in-person class, I'd probably ask to even hear the sound of the exhale. I'll just pretend. Maybe on the exhale, we go a little deeper into those joints all the way down. Noting sensation. And as we did with the other side, when we're ready to release, we'll bring that foot down. Pause for the moment. And maybe put the weight into the right foot and shimmy the hips just a little bit to the left. And then drop that foot down for a twist. Again, making any adjustments we need to be comfortable. We should never feel any pinching. The body's telling us that it's not a big position for ourselves. Breathing nice and deep. Getting into that lower spine. And though I know we're not supposed to be judging, I definitely note that this sequence is one of my favorites for when I have really tight hips or my legs are bent particularly tight as they do. Trying to, again, take my time and really ask, okay, what is my body telling me today as I do this? Maybe one or two more breaths here. And when we're ready, one twist our legs, Shimmy your hips over, back to center. Maybe take that windshield wiper motion in our knees if we're feeling it. And we'll hug the knees in. Maybe rock. Maybe we know this feels nice on the lower back, mid back, upper back. Take a moment of stillness. And then we're going to extend our legs long on the mat and our arms up ahead long as well. Pause for a moment. And then on a deep inhale, we're going to bring it all in nice and tight. Feel those muscles tense. And on the exhale, let's release nice and long. And we'll do that 2 more times. You can follow with me or to your own breath. Let's breathe in nice and deep. Curl up. Feel those muscles tense. Exhale. Nice and long. And then inhale one more time. Curling up. Chin to chest. Tense and release. Spend a moment here. Maybe doing a mini scan of different parts of the body. Anything that might draw your attention. And whenever you're ready, however you choose, we're going to come up to a seated position. So you may roll to your side and come up gently. However you choose, we'll come up to a seat. So we all know how I like to work my shoulders, so we're going to start in our seated position with just simply rolling our shoulders up to our ears. And then dropping them down. I know I often feel those crunchy bits and those snaps and crackles. Trying to get nice and deep into the muscles if we can. And let's do the reverse. Opposite direction. You might be choosing to make big circles or small circles. There's no right or wrong. Just noting our choice. Right. We'll take stillness, noting change in sensation after our shoulder circles. We'll take a belly breath in. And then on the exhale, we're going to extend that right arm out, just gently, maybe fingertips on the mat. And then just get that little bit of a stretch, tilting our head to the left. Maybe we gently place our hand on the head, no pushing. Maybe just getting a little bit deeper into the stretch. Noting where you may feel tight. Maybe there might even be discomfort. And let's bring the head up. And then on the exhale, we do the opposite side. So extend that left arm out. Maybe your fingertips gently brush the side of the mat. Maybe we place our hand gently on the head. Again, no pressure, just might get a little bit deeper into the stretch. We might on the exhale get a little deeper if we choose, but be very gentle, very intentional with our movement. Release. Bring our head back up. Take any movements that you feel you want in the moment. Again, be very intentional. And we're going to grab our straps for this next one, and we're just going to hold them very loosely in our hands in front of us, so we can, slide a little bit, just a little bit wider than our shoulders. And then on the inhale, follow along. It's going to be a nice, deep, long inhale. We're going to lift our hands up, all the way up above. Maybe we slide them a little farther apart if we need. And all the way back. Pause. And on the exhale, bring it all the way forward. So we're going to do this one 2 more times, and you can follow along with myself or to the tune of your own breath. And again, there shouldn't be any pain or pinching with this one. Just go to the extent that your body allows you to. So when we're ready, we're going to take a deep inhale in. All the way back. Pause. And exhale. And one more time, deep inhale in, noting all the subtle things that we might feel as we do this motion. And exhale all the way back. All right. So release the straps again. Maybe we take any movement that we feel we want at the moment. Just taking that pause. Maybe we notice difference in our shoulders. Maybe they've stayed the same. Both are perfectly fine. And we're going to take a nice belly breath in, as always. And out. And then on the next breath in, we're going to rise our hands up above. Pretend we have that big beach ball that we're holding. And then on the exhale, we're going to gently bend over to the left. And take a couple breaths here, trying to get into the side. We want to make sure that our chest is open and that we're not rounding down. Keeping the arms strong, the seat planted. Getting nice into the side. And when we're ready, we're going to inhale up, pause, and then exhale to the other side. Again, making sure our chest is open, our seat is planted, our knees have equal pressure on the mat or our feet. And we'll take a nice inhale back up, pause, and then on the exhale, we're going to move into our twist. So our left hand will come gently behind us, fingertips might rest on the mat. Right hand might gently rest on the leg. Really trying to get into the base of the spine. And maybe on the inhale, we might pretend that there's that string that's pulling from the crown of our heads. We're sitting nice and tall. Exhale, maybe a little deeper into our twist. And our gaze can be gently just directed over our shoulder, wherever's comfortable. Maybe noting differences in this position of a twist from our one laying down, or similarities. Deep breath in and out. And once again, let's inhale in, beach balls back up. Pause and exhale, we twist to the other side. So fingertips resting gently behind us. Gently resting that left hand on the thigh. Nice and tall. We're not wanting to twist in our shoulders, we're wanting to twist from the lower spine. And we don't want any tension in the neck. Just gazing to the point where it aids in our twist. Deep breath in and out. And again, we're going to inhale in, bring the arms back out, and exhale. And then our next inhale, we're going to bring our arms all the way back, nice and deep. Gaze directed up, chest up. And exhale, we're going to bring it all forward. Again, let's inhale back, nice and open. Exhale, everything forward, round the back. And we'll do this one more time. Let's breathe in nice and deep. And exhale all the way out. All right, let's drop the hands. And for our last seated position, we're going to extend our legs out in front of us. And so you might choose to have a bend in the knees or maybe even a pillow under the knees if we need to. Once again, we're going to grab our straps, put them around the feet. Right. I have very short legs, so it's a little easier to reach for myself. But when we have a comfortable position for our knees and they're supported, we're going to sit up nice and tall. Again, that string pulling from the crown of the head. And then on the exhale, we're going to forward fold. And we're doing this, we really want to lead with the chest. We don't want to round the back. That's not stretching the muscle we're hoping to get at. But really try to get that nice flat back and fold from the hips. And that's where the strap absolutely can be helpful. And again, this practice isn't about how bendy we might be or touching our toes or anything like that. It's about noticing what our experience is as we take these different positions. And maybe we are quite flexible. That's great too. We might choose to get a little straighter on the inhale and a little deeper on the exhale. Being very intentional. Keeping the feet flexed. Again, we shouldn't feel any sort of strain on the knees, on the back. Shoulders shrugged away from those ears. Very good. Our gaze can be just gently directed forward with this one. And maybe we notice any pressure points that our body's making with the mat, or maybe we even notice sensation up along the back, shoulders, neck. And we'll take one or two more breaths here. And again, deep belly breath in and out. And let's breathe up, back to sitting straight. And noting any changes in sensation in the body. Maybe we choose to wiggle the legs out a little bit here. Again, just noticing. Alright, so we will put our straps off to the side. And we're going to come up to a tabletop position for our next group here. Alright, so in our tabletop, we're wanting to make sure that Our weight is evenly distributed in our hands and our knees. And we're going to do our cat-cows. So breathing in, we're going to become that sway back cow. We're going to drop the belly. Our gaze is gently going to be directed up. And then on the inhale, we become that cat. And exhale. Sway back to cow. Again, keeping strong in all four corners. And breathing in, round the back. Maybe we feel that string pulling the spine up. Chin might come to chest. Your cow. And we'll do this one or two more times. You can do it with myself or to your own breath. Rounding the back to our cat. And dropping down, gaze up. Cow. Maybe a little deeper this time. And once more. Get into the spine. And dropping down. And so bring the spine into our neutral position. And we might choose for this next sequence to put our hands just a little bit forward. And we're going to do our very gentle child's pose flow, which, as again, I know I'm not supposed to judge, but is probably one of my favorites. So let's take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to drop down into a child's pose. And we might choose to have our knees a little bit wider for this one, whatever's comfortable, but we won't stay here too long at this point. So on the next inhale, we're going to come back up to tabletop, pause for the moment. And then we're going to drop the chest down, nice and strong in the arms, elbows tucked in, all the way down. And then let's inhale up to a very gentle cobra. Exhale, drop the gaze. Inhale, back up to our tabletop. Pause. Exhale, down into a child's pose. So we'll do this one 2 more times. Again, feel free to follow along or choose to do it to your own breath. Let's take a nice inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, gentle, bring our gaze up. Shoulders tucked in, nice and strong in the legs. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up to tabletop. Exhale down into our child's pose. And for our last flow, once again, inhale up. Exhale, bring her down. Inhale, bring up the gaze. Exhale, drop her down. Inhale, back up. And exhale down into our child's pose. And we're going to remain here in child's pose for a moment. So if you need to take the knees wider or closer together, whatever is more comfortable for you, please feel free to do that. And we're just going to rest here for 2 to 3 breaths. When you're ready, on the next inhale, we're going to come back up to tabletop. And then in whatever method you choose, we're going to come down into a Shavasana position for our Yoga Nidra practice for the night. So for this practice, I really encourage you to take a Shavasana that's comfortable for yourself. So if you need any pillows under the knees or under the neck or blanket, anything like that, please do take those steps now to get comfortable. Yoga Nidra, they call it a yogi sleep or yogic sleep, and it's great for relaxation as well as this awareness that we've been developing. And so I'll ask, like I said, that we're lying down in Shavasana in that comfortable position. And if there's any adjustments that you need to make, so the suggestion is maybe feet wider than hips, maybe let the feet flop to the sides, palms maybe a little away from the hips, just allowing the armpits to breathe. And take that position that'll be comfortable for the entire duration of the practice. So relax the shoulders, relax the arms, relax the hips, the back, knees, ankles. And maybe you lift your head a couple of times to release any tight spots from the back of the neck. And allow your eyes to close. And if it's comfortable for you, try to keep them closed for the practice. And if you feel any tension or tight spots in any part of the body, take your awareness to that body part. And in this moment, try to breathe a bit of relaxation or release into that part. And it is natural to flow in and out of consciousness during this practice. And understand whatever your experience may be today, and that is the experience that is meant for you. And there is no way to do this wrong. So try to stay awake by listening to the sound of my voice. And if your mind starts wandering, which is natural and what minds do, just come back to the sound of my voice. So as we begin our practice of Yoga Nidra, we start by becoming aware of any sounds you might hear in the moment. Nothing else but what you can hear without straining your ears. Maybe you start by focusing on more distant sounds. And move your attention from sound to sound. Try not to label the source. Try not to get into that judgment mind. Now move your awareness to sounds within the room, to the sound of your breath, and the sound of your breath flowing freely between your nostrils. Now visualize yourself within this room. Visualize the four walls of the room, trying to not open your eyes. So the ceiling, the floor, the walls. Visualize your position in the room, your body lying on the mat, the parts of your body touching the mat, your clothes, your hair, your face, your entire body lying on the mat. Become aware of your natural breath Become aware of your natural and spontaneous breath that moves in and out of your body without any effort. And the natural breath flows in through both nostrils. And notice the feeling of the breath as it comes in and out of the nose. And as at this point, that will ask you to remember your intention for the practice. And perhaps repeat your intention 3 times to yourself with clarity and focus. And we will now begin a systematic journey of awareness throughout the body. And you will move your awareness to different parts of the body as soon as you hear them named. And we will begin with the right side. So bring that non-judgmental and curious awareness to the right arm, the right shoulder, the right side of the chest, the right side of the waist, and the whole of the right leg. And now to the left side. We bring that same awareness to the left arm, the left shoulder, the left side of the chest, the left side of the waist, and the whole of the left leg. And now we move to the back of the body. So the back of the feet, the back of the legs, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, back of the shoulders, back of the neck, and back of the head. And next, we bring that awareness to the front side of the body. So the top of the head, the whole face, throat, the neck, the chest, the abdomen, the seat. And finally, bring that same awareness to the whole body. To the whole body. To the whole body. So gradually come back to the feeling of the breath flowing in and out of the nostrils. Maintain awareness of the breath. Become aware of your physical body. Your body is relaxed and lying on the floor. Feel the parts of the body lying on the floor. And notice what parts are touching the floor. Heels, thighs, the back, shoulders, arms, hands, and head. finally, we move awareness to the back of the room. Visualize the room. Imagine where you are in the room. And for the last moments of this practice, as long as you wish, you can lie quietly until you feel ready to move. There is no hurry. Starting just by slowly moving hands and feet. Whenever you're ready, you can bring that movement and step out of the practice. I want to say thank you for joining me tonight for our practice. If you have any questions, please do let us know. Thank you so much again. Have a great night. Hope to talk to you next Tuesday. Namaste.